Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you may be in the world, and welcome back to the One Line Racing Center Community Cup. And oh boy, does it feel good to be back for this. It's the last round of this Championships Community Cups, and that means only one thing: the championship's going to be won or lost in this race. Important thing to note, of course, is the fact that Tony needs third or higher to beat Joey Dom. So Tony went. Needs a third place or higher to beat Joey Dom in the standings. Let's have a look then, though, who qualified for tonight, or at least the time standings. Donny, of course, once again showing what he can do at the top on a 1:36.7. Anthony Wendo is in second, as we expect him to be almost these days, 36.9. Dallas Dunlap on a 37.366 is in third. Justin Taylor just 3/10 behind that in P4. It was very close though for P4. Joey Dom right behind him. Carson Hargrove in P6 was about 8/10 back of that pair. Jack Dennison on a 1:38.4 as well. 1:38.5 for Cody Jump. Also 1:38.5 for AJ Masick. Matt Haynes on a 1:38.744, so only 2/10 off of that. And a 1:39.513 for Axel Correll in 11th. 12th was Alex Uranza on a 1:39.646. We'll see exactly who is in the session soon, but before we do so, let's go and have a look at the exact standings as it stands at the moment. Now do keep in mind, this does add qualifying to it. So with the standings at the moment, Joey Dom would beat Anthony Wen. But like I said, third or higher to beat Joey Dom here. Does Anthony Wen. AJ Masick in P3, Justin Taylor fourth, Dax Brown at the moment fifth. And Alex Uranza in 6th. 7th is Jack Dennison, Ishfaq Azam in 8th, Ryan Collins in 9th, and Matt Haynes in P10. Now, this is quite close. Ryan Collins, Matt Haynes, 1 point in between those two. 6 points between Jack Dennison and Ishfaq Azam. 2 points between Jack and Alex for 6th. And then only a further 6 point between Alex and Dax for P5. Then there's a bigger gap, though, to Justin Taylor. He also has a bigger gap to AJ Masick in 3rd. But then, of course, the battle is between those two at the top. Well, then, let's go and have a look how they are doing out on track. Of course, tonight is Oulton Park in the TCR class. At the moment, for what I can see, only 9 cars out on track. At the moment, it is Anthony Wen on a 1:37.958, whose quickest does have a little off there. Coming out of the right-hander. Back onto the start-finish straight, finishing that time a little further. This was around the time that he did in the pre-qualifying, we'll call it. Where is Joey Dom? I'm missing out on Joey Dom. No, Joey Dom's not here. That's probably why Anthony Wen needs third or higher. Yeah, okay, got that. Joey Dom won't be here tonight then. So Anthony Wen in this last round needs a third place or higher. I think he finished ahead of Joey Dom. Alright, so that makes that a lot clearer. Anthony Wen, you know, when his biggest rival at the moment isn't here, you know that he's going to do well. And at the moment, it doesn't seem like there's any pressure in terms of lap times on him either. 37.958 is still better than Jack Dennison. 1:38.851, almost a full second quicker, Anthony Wen. So then, a bit about this track, Oulton Park, of course, one of the gems in the United Kingdom in the UK. And, well, it is a tight one. It's not an easy track to overtake at. The track was opened all the way back in 1953. And is of course part of a bigger track group, including in that of course is Branch Hatch, Donington Park. All of those tracks are included. Are run by the same organization as Oulton Park is here. The first ever race on this track was the British Empire Trophy on the 8th of August of the same year that it was opened, 1953. And of course the track famously was and still is owned by the Gray Egerton family. One of the few tracks that they own. About these cars then, which cars do we have? So far I have only seen the Hyundai i30N TCR. If this is the updated version. Now back in the good old days of TCR, you of course had about 4 cars to choose from. You had the Seat Leon TCR, you had the Honda Civic Type R, the FK8 version of it. And you had the Audi RS3 LMS, which was an extremely popular car for races like, for example, the 24 Hours of the Nürburgring, when the TCR class still ran in that. Now it's only just a couple of cars, or at least TCR cars, left in that. 24 Hours has just been the Rover Racing BMW victorious there. From the Goretto Porsche of Montaiema. Intriguing battle for the whole race, basically. Oh, Anthony Webb has improved to a 37.2. But Josh Taylor at the moment on a 38.2 as well. We're looking at Jack Dennison. Can he get up to about the same lap times? Track seems to be ramping up here. 6 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Has a little distant toe of the car ahead of him. Can he improve? The answer to that question is a resounding no. On board now with Matt Haynes. He was the car behind. See there in the distance, there goes Jack Dennison. So Matt Haynes has good clear track ahead of him. Oh, as I say that though, there's a slow car up ahead. So has to watch out that he doesn't run into traffic here. Coming through Shed Oil Corner. Through Foulstons. Seems like he's working the wheel pretty hard behind the Hyundai i30N. Traffic does let him go. Through a hilltop into Knickerbrook. Rising up the hill, through Clay Hill, through Water Tower into Druids. Important that you don't dip a wheel onto the grass through Druids. And then on to Lodge Corner, where the fans are frantically waving the i30N flags. There's a Dutch Max Verstappen flag on the left-hand side. I'm pretty sure he ain't taking part. But we have Matt Haynes across the line. Needs an improvement of at least 24,000 of a second to improve. The answer is he can't get it. Jack Dennison right ahead of him, though. Did improve by about 6 thousandths of a second. Justin Taylor, he's on a 1:38.272, still a second back of what Anthony Wen was able to do. Cody Jump in 5th, he's on a 1:39.266. We only have the 9 for tonight. But you know full well that even though we only have the 9 cars here at One Line Racing Center, it'll be a spectacle. Now with the championship on the line for Anthony Wen. sure don't want to miss this. Soon into the last 3 minutes of qualifying. It's crunch time, baby. If you want a quicker lap time, you gotta do it now. All right, on board with Brian Henningsen. Currently P8 for the number 830. Of course, these TCR is extremely difficult to drive at the limit. So easy to go over it. Through the left hand, there goes Brian Henning, the left hander of Isle Bend. Much trickier than it looks like, because there's not a lot of run until you enter Shell Oil Corner, which is the tight hairpin afterwards. If you're not lined up properly for that, well, you're gonna have trouble. Through Knickerbrook. Anthony Wen across start finish to start his final lap. Closely followed, I think, by Justin Taylor. No, he's a little bit further up the track, I think. Anthony Wen will be the last one across the line. Oh, he won't. I think it's Jack Dennison who's also just started the lap. So he could attack for pole position, but at the moment he's 1.6 seconds off. So it's looking unlikely. Here comes Cody Jump. Across the line when Anthony Wen couldn't improve. Now it didn't look like Taylor could improve. So Cody Jump is the last one. All right then, that was qualifying. The grid is set. And like I always say, grab your popcorn, wait for the grid, because you don't want to miss it. Grab your popcorn, fill up your drinks, because the race is soon gonna get started. All right then, here comes the race. Drivers are lining up. There's still one car in pit lane. However, drivers are lining up. They're lining up as follows. Anthony went on the front. Josh Taylor right next to him. Matt Haynes in third. Dennis in fourth. Jump in fifth. Berrien in sixth. Henningsen in seventh. Coral in eighth. And also Coral in ninth. And Doherty in P10. I haven't seen Doherty qualified. I feel like he joined in late. Good to see him still on the grid though. And see what he can do from the back of it. 30 minutes of racing. As soon as the 6 red lights on your screen are illuminated, it's time to get this race underway. 30 minutes of thrilling action. The Summer Community Cup is about to come to an end. The finale is upon us. It's green, green, green. Anthony Wen from the front row of the grid needs to at least get third in this race to beat Joey Dom to the championship. Oh, there's almost a spinner in the background. Florian, you'll be fine. That was Matt Haynes, who started in P3, now down in P9. Henningsen also involved in it. He's down in P8. Coral now up to 7th and 6th. But most importantly, at the front of the field, though, Anthony Wen able to keep the front of the pack. He'll happily finish in second here, though, if Justin Taylor's going to force the issue. And he is up the inside of Shell Oil. And off the track he goes. That was a little too much, a little too eager from Taylor. And that's dropped him all the way back to 7th. Also can't see Doherty on the timing screens anymore. But Anthony Wen has a 2-second lead in the front. Marco Coral, here he comes through the right-hander of Nicky Brook, and that's way too deep. Who's that? Oh, that's the other Coral. Marco Coral does move up and loses out that position to Taylor again. The other Coral is still streaking in the gravel trap, I think, at Nicky Brook. Went off with extreme speed and could not control the car from there, sadly. Up the inside. Around the outside, rather, goes Matt Haynes of Marco Coral. And the 2 Corals now at the back of the field. Oh, Cody jump, what have you done, sir? You've opened up the gap to Anthony Wen, that's what you've done. Josh Taylor's already back up to 3rd after his dive bomb going into Shell Corner on the first lap, which was a little too ambitious, I fear. Josh Taylor in 3rd, Andrew Berrien in 2nd. There goes Justin Taylor looking for the move on Andrew Berrien. Jack Dennison is the spectator in this case. Front row seats for him. As Justin Taylor looks for the move on Andrew Berrien, but Andrew Berrien takes care of that himself. Goes off and back into 5th he goes. Justin Taylor, excuse me, is up into 2nd. 3.2 seconds the gap now. Hasn't even lost that much of it to come back through the field. Jack Dennison in P3 now, right on the rear bumper of Justin Taylor. Looking at Matt Haynes, who's behind Andrew Berrien, and the Andrew Berrien that was 2nd, but dropped back to 5th after his moment off going through Druids. Right then. Drivers are slowly but surely starting to settle in this race. Closest battle on track is for 4th. Henningsen, Berrien and Haynes involved in it. Matt Haynes looking for revenge. Looking at the inside is Matt Haynes of Andrew Perry, and that's just enough to unsettle him. And Andrew Perry, for the second lap in a row, goes off. This time he goes off at Knickerbrook. And Matt Haynes is through and up into 5th. So then Matt Haynes, what can you do? Look around the outside this time of Henningsen. Henningsen says, no sir, you don't do me, round the outside of turn 1. Holds off the inside going into turn 2. Through the left-hander of Isle Bend. Oh, that's off the road, goes Henningsen. Matt Haynes will get that position. Can he avoid contact? The answer is he couldn't. Henningsen is off in the background. Cody Jump gains that position. Josh Taylor, though, look at that. 1.1 seconds, the gap now only. He started at a gap of 3.3 seconds to Anthony Wen. He's closed that up by 2.2. Over, I think, what's the case of 3 laps. Justin Taylor right on the rear bumper soon of Anthony Wen. Jack Dennison, P3, 2.7 behind this battle. But Justin Taylor can see Anthony Wen for the lead of this race, and that's a powerful tool to have. If you've got some to aim at, it can work in great favor as a driver, giving an extra 5% of push. Cody Jump now in 6th. He's a second behind Andrew Perry, who in turn is a second behind Matt Haynes. Like most likely battle at the moment looks between Cody Jump and Andrew Perry, and Andrew Perry, who has been off already twice in a row. Cody Jump can just pile on the pressure. We've seen multiple times already now that Andrew Perry might crack under that pressure. No, he might have learned from that mistake. Only look forward now. Slipstream doesn't work to great effect in these TCRs. They don't reach high enough speeds ready for the slipstream to make a massive effect, or to have a massive effect and make a massive difference. This is the closest battle on track so far. We're hoping that the battle for the lead will close up soon as well. Justin Taylor, 1.2 back still. Looks like Anthony Wen has been able to stabilize the gap. But one thing's for sure, and that's that Anthony Wen is not going to get a Sunday drive here. He will have to work for it, because also Jack Dennison is also only 5 seconds back on Anthony Wen. If he makes a massive mistake, he could well drop back to 3rd, to 4th even. Justin Taylor. gap for the lead. Right in front of you is our leader, Anthony Wen. Gap 1.6 at the moment. Anthony Wen slowly opening that gap back up. So then gap increasing to about 2 seconds. Yeah, like I said, the race is settling down now. There's not much interesting stuff going on apart from the fact that there are a couple of battles potentially brewing. Jump. That's an alternative line compared to Andrew Berrien. You can see Andrew Berrien much better on the exit of the corner. Both having their different strengths. Battle for 5th is brewing. Now closed up to about 0.8 of a second to Andrew Berrien. See that Cody Jump is clearly driving different lines than Andrew Berrien is, but it doesn't seem to work on the exit of the corners. Focusing much more towards the entry of a corner, and he's just too far back, I think, to have a real go at Andrew Berrien. Oh, there's a spinner up ahead though. Is that Matt Haynes? Yes, it is. Matt Haynes down to 6 now. This battle all of a sudden has been promoted to the battle for 4th. And that has huge complications in the battle for the championship too. Because the gap to Jack Dennison is now about 10 seconds to Anthony Wen. Here comes the move though for Cody Jump. Mistake from Matt Haynes. From Andrew Berrien, excuse me, opens the door for Cody Jump to go through, and then in turn makes another mistake through Knickerbrook. And Andrew Berrien is back up into 4th. Matt Haynes, though, meanwhile, closes up to these two. Has to do it all over again. He tends the gap now. What's happened to Josh Taylor at the front? He's now 3.2 seconds back at Anthony Wen. We stay at this battle though, 4 P4, 5 and 6. Matt Haynes once again front row seats to all of it. And it's his own wrongdoing that he has Could have been way up ahead of these two, but had a massive spin. Was lucky, I think, not to have contact with the barriers at Shell Oil. This has proved a tricky corner for multiple drivers. Knikkerbroek. As Matt Haynes shoots through there. Cody Jump once again. Little early turn, and it seems like it's compromising all of his exits. Once again, much earlier on the turn, and look how much he has to slow down on exit. This opens up the opportunity for Matt Haynes to have a look on the inside. He's going to defend it. No, he isn't. Cody Jump under attack going into the last corner. Lodge corner is the move, or is the place for the move for Matt Haynes. Contact with Cody Jump. Door-to-door contact, mirrors are flying through the air. But Matt Haynes at the inside of turn 1 can't make it round the outside, goes Cody Jump. And that is where that focusing on entry really does help. Old Hall, a prey for Matt Haynes. Look at this though, the run coming out of Cascade. Once again, Cody Jump all over the back. Surely not up the inside of Isle Bend. Surely not. This is going to end in disaster, and he does pull out. That was going to end in disaster if he kept his nose in there. It was nowhere near alongside enough. Don't even know if Cody Jump was even aware that Matt Haynes was even there. Smart decision from Matt Haynes to keep both of them alive. You can see Matt Haynes has the pace here. Great exit coming out of Folston's. The inside is the place on Knikkerbroek. The outside, what a line from Cody Jump. Just can't do it, Matt Haynes. We'll have to try and outbrake Cody Jump somewhere. But that seems extremely tricky to do with the way Cody Jump's driving that Hyundai i30N. And all the while these two are fighting, they're losing time to P4 Andrew Berrien, who now himself is 11 seconds back on Jack Dennison. Justin Taylor 2.7 back, seems to have the pace. There's the mistake though. Cody Jump with the mistake inside for Matt Haynes. Can he complete the pass this time round? Yes, he can before they get to the braking zone of turn 1. And Matt Haynes up at the P5. I think we'll see him create a gap now if he can. Oh, the limit through turn 1. Through Cascades now, once again, on the absolute limits of grip of the i30N. Cody Jump once again focusing on the entry, and this time it doesn't work out. Matt Haynes is clear. Can now chase down Andrew Berrien for 4th. But I think what Justin Taylor has proven tonight is that he has the pace. He can close up to Anthony Wen. Anthony Wen, who did just make a mistake. He's just been too inconsistent so far in this race, Justin Taylor, to really have a good go at Anthony Wen. Mistakes like Anthony Wen just made, that's the moments you need to be there with him. Because else he'll be picture perfect throughout this whole race. 12.5 minutes to go now. Get it to crunch point in this race. Let's see what Justin Taylor can do now. He's ramping up pressure again on Anthony Wen. Cody Jump has gained the position back on Matt Haynes. What's happened to Matt Haynes? Has he had another off moment? It for sure looks like it. And it looks like that happened at a corner where so many drivers have been struggling tonight. Knikkerbroek. Knikkerbroek is a almost flat out right-hander. And if you miss your turn in by, I think, just half a meter, well, you're going to end up on the grass. And as soon as you end up on the grass, you're a passenger. Oh, Alex Coral at the back of the field is in the pits. Marco Coral in P8. Also drop it back on Henningsen. Rear right tire lifted through the air for Justin Taylor. A really, really, really impressive drive by Justin. But it just looks like for the moment, it's just not enough. Anthony Wen seems to have got the better of Justin Taylor. But he has made a couple of mistakes as long as he keeps piling on the pressure. At some point he'll be right all over the back of him. I think for Anthony Wen it's also a risk-reward game. Could he jump again, trying different lines? But coming back to what I was saying, for Anthony Wen, it's a risk-reward game as well. He doesn't need to win this race. He has the championship on his mind. And to win that championship, he can't finish any lower than third. And at the moment, that's looking quite unlikely. The gap to fourth, to which he would need to drop down to fall out of that championship winning position, is about 28 seconds. And it looks quite unlikely that Anthony Wen is going to lose that time. And there's another mistake from Justin Taylor. Keeps his foot in though. Doesn't lose too much time with it. We get into this race, the more fatigue will play a role. Cody jumps still ahead of Matt Haynes. But Cody jump on that last lap, also gaining hand over fist on Andrew Berrien. Has stabilized a little. Can he get below that second? He's within slipstream range now. Although it doesn't do much, it helps a little. For some reason seem to, oh, there it is as soon as I talk about it. It's back. I lost the world feed there for a second, went all black on me. But we're back with live feed. And that live feed showing that Cody Jump is still within a second of Andrew Berrien. This is still for P4 in the race. Justin Taylor, the second back now on Anthony Wen. Oh, Anthony Wen's off the track. Championship leader in trouble. Manages to keep it pointed straight at least. But massive time loss there for Anthony Wen in his quest to take another victory this season. Capitalizing the fact Joey Dunn won't be here. Taylor has got 6 more minutes to get past Anthony Wen, who's been picture perfect so far this race, but from a couple of offs here and there, he's been in a commanding lead. and it doesn't look like he will give that up anytime soon. Even if Justin Taylor gets to the back of Anthony Wen, I still struggle to see how he would capitalize on time lost by Anthony Wen. Pace difference between those two is about 1/10 of a second. Watch out, car coming out of pit lane. That is Marco Corral. We're into the last 5 minutes of this race. Gaps at the moment. P1 to P2, 1.4 seconds. P2 to P3, 17.5 seconds. P3 to P4, 15.6. But then come the closer gaps. P4 to P5, 1.4. P5 to P6, 3 seconds. P6 to P7. That gap is closing as we speak. Both Corals are multiple laps down. Matt Haynes. Oh boy, has he shot himself. Oh, what's happened to Cody Jump? He's dropped to 6th. Matt Haynes has shot himself in the foot so many times tonight. He could have easily been up there in P4, and now he's going to have to fight for it if he can even get there. Andrew Barron is not running bad pace either. Gap at the front, 1.6. This is the battle for the lead. And this is your closest battle on track. No, little moment there in the entry of Shell Oil for Anthony Wen. Seven tenths is the gap now. He's never been closer in this race after the start. Justin Taylor is hassling Anthony Wen. 5 tenths is the gap. Well within slipstream range now is Justin Taylor. Two laps to go at Oulton Park. Towards the I-30 end, grandstand we go. But look at the exit that Justin Taylor just got. He's absolutely hassling Anthony Wen through these corners. He's never been closer. Tighter line though, little early turn-in for Justin Taylor. This is about a 10th or 2. Valuable tenths lost. Especially in the battle for P1. But he's trying his absolute everything to get to the back of Anthony Wen and try and put pressure on the champion-elect. Needs to finish one more lap after this one, and then the crown will be his once again. Won the Autumn Series, won the Winter Series. The Spring Series was also his. And Anthony Wen, in a lap's time, is gonna come through to complete the quadruple. Gap up above a second again. It's looking unlikely that Justin Taylor is going to have any shot here. Matt Haynes is closed up to Andrew Berry, and they've got 1.5 laps to go. Battle for P4. Matt Haynes could have been there long before. Andrew Berrien has made at least 16 seconds of mistakes. Could have well been P3. It finds himself in 5th with 1.5 laps to go. The insider drew it. Surely not. No, that's too late. Makes him look in the mirrors. Matt Haynes up into 4th. At last he gets where he wants to be. The only goal for Matt Haynes now is to stay there. 1 more lap to go. The leaders have already entered the final lap. And Anthony Wen looks to storm to yet another commanding victory, as Justin Taylor tries his absolute best to close back up and overtake where he can, but 1.5 seconds is just going to be too much to close up in 1 lap, especially on Anthony Wen, excuse me. It's been an intriguing battle this whole season long. Justin Taylor, Joey Dom, Jack Dennison, Matt Haynes. But in the end, nobody could match what Anthony Wen did at the front of the field. And he hasn't done it once, he hasn't done it twice, he's done it 3 times already. And Anthony Wen, through the last corner at Oulton Park, is coming through to take his 4th championship in a row. The 831 is victorious over the 832 of Justin Taylor. A second was in between the two at start-finish. Justin Taylor seemed to have the pace, which is a little too inconsistent tonight for Anthony Wen. But take a bow. 4 times in a row, Anthony Wen has done it again. Jack Dennison comes through to finish on the podium in P3. Matt Haynes comes home in a commanding P4. But it could have been for Matt Haynes if he hadn't had the multiple incidents he's had this race. Andrew Berrien finishes P5. Cody Jump looked like for a while he could at least challenge for P4. He dropped back with about 6 minutes to go and couldn't really look back at Andrew Berrien nor Matt Haynes. He's going to come through in 6th. And then the wait starts for Henningsen a little further back. Brian Henningsen, last one to come across the line in this race. It's been an intriguing battle throughout this whole season. You couldn't take your eyes off it. Sadly, I had to. Couldn't attend some of the rounds. But I'm happy I was here for the finale of it all at Oulton Park. And for the ones who haven't heard yet, Anthony Wen, 4-time champion in a row. What more can you ask from Anthony Wen? What more can he achieve? Here are the standings then at the end of the season. Joey Dom wasn't here tonight. That means he will end up with a 0 score tonight. 93 points is what he will finish on. But a champion of the Summer Community Cup Championship Series 2025, Anthony Wen, on 105 points. Won 3 of the 4 races he competed in, and was 3rd in the other. Joey Dom in 2nd, and Justin Taylor in 3rd. He secured that on the last day as well, with a 2nd place. AJ Masick in 4th, out of Jack Dennison in 5th. Dax Brown in 6th. Alex Uranza in 7th. Matt Haynes in 9th. Ishfaq Azam, or Matt Haynes in 8th. Ishfaq Azam in 9th. And Andrew Berrien rounded off the top 10. But that was it for the Summer Community Cup Championship Series 2025. It's been a great championship throughout. I've been happy to guide you through most of the championship action in 2025 for the Summer Community Cup. We'll be back with the Autumn Community Cup in about a week's or 4 time. Until then, though, stay safe, and we'll see you in about 4 weeks' time. My name's Van Pippels. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye!